Hello everyone! I just recorded an 8 minutes video, but I'm going to start again because the more I record and the more I speak to the camera, the more natural I feel and the better I get. It takes like maybe 15 minutes of practice and 100 takes, but maybe this is the last one. So I want to make a review of 2023. Maybe no one cares, but I wanted to do this video and I'm making this video and I'm very glad about making it. I am recording this video in the same place where I recorded a video about 2 years ago. My goal for 2022 is to leave my perfectionism and hopefully insecurities behind. So in 2022, I lived quite a nomadic life. With my boyfriend, we were moving a lot. We lived for 6 months in Colombia, in different cities. Unforgettable time, but one thing I noticed, it was that I was very anxious creatively. I was struggling to create classes. I highly admire the people who are able to record classes on the go. I mean, how do you do it? Anyway, 2023, we got a base. I started building my studio on a room of my house. I spent all Christmas designing my room in Photoshop. It was a lot of fun actually. It really helped me visualize the type of studio that I wanted, and it helped me design it in a way where the functionality of it would work. Do like a filming setup and all those things really helped me to feel creatively awake. So I spent, I think, January, February, March enjoying that space. I had just published a Skillshare class, so the Skillshare income was pretty steady. And I was just instead like trying to find ways of filming content more often, painting with me videos, enjoying my studio loads, just like spending whole evenings painting things that I normally can't do because of the lack of time. And you know what? I started my YouTube channel. That was something that was in my list for ages. Then in March, I went to London to give a workshop in the V&A Museum. It's called the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, Digital Textile Design Workshop. That was the first time I would teach in person. I was very nervous, but it went so well. It was so nice to be able to teach real people again and in such a place. I mean, that museum is like my dream museum. I remember that at the end of that workshop, I wanted to go to museums and visit friends and stuff, but the weather was so grim and rainy that I decided to stay in my friend's house and cook for them every night, different things as a way of saying thank you and sharing time with them. But I also thought, let's see what I can apply to, because I have this free time, all the stress of the workshop is gone. It went well, great, now what else? What's next? So I started looking for open calls and I found an open call that was Urban Art Barcelona in Poblenou. So I applied to that with a mural that I created in Procreate. One of the great things about Procreate is that I feel that it's like traveling with a studio where I can very quickly come up with ideas, and I'm going to share that mural with you. This is the mural that I painted in my friend's house whilst London was very rainy. It's a very cool mural. What I did with this mural was conceptually try to bring together the love that I have for graphic design and art, and the love that I have for nature, and also the love that I have been developing for street art. When I moved from London to Barcelona, I started painting a lot in the streets. The streets became my studio, and I had a lot of fun painting with graffiti and trying all these new techniques, all these new aesthetics that were maybe closer to the graphic design world and further from the classical oil painting that I was exploring earlier in London. So that was cool, and guess what? I got selected. I was super happy about that. It was a bit weird because it was an urban street art festival, and I ended up painting a mural in the Hilton Hotel, Barcelona, which stayed there. I didn't get paid. Maybe my mural and a few others that were painted not in the street but on hotels funded the festival. I'm glad about that. I enjoyed it a lot. I forgot to say that throughout the first part of the year, someone that I knew had me on their radar as a photographer. I did a master's in fashion photography in the past, and I worked a lot as a photographer, but I kind of forgot about that skill when I moved to London. I think London is one of those cities that you can't be a multidisciplinary artist because people are like, what? But what is that you do? Sorry, no, who's next? You know, I want a specialist that just does prints or fashion. Or Barcelona, you can do whatever. You can do lots of things, and people are like, oh, so you do photography. Would you be interested in coming also to do this thing and that? So when I came back to Barcelona, I was like, yeah, of course, I still do photography. And I was hired several times to do portrait photography. I was very glad. That gave me a lot of extra income. And, you know, I like being active as a freelancer because it gives me the feeling that I am still valued, I'm still needed. This all has to do with insecurities of mine, but who doesn't have these insecurities? Even after 20 years of working as a freelancer and visual artist or creative in the visual industry, I still have a lot of insecurities that I battle with. Thankfully, I feel that I'm evolving, and that's why I'm making this video. 13 minutes. I might just skip it and put it on my hard drive, but I don't care. And after painting that mural, the Hilton Hotel commissioned me to paint maybe 2 meter per 1 meter painting where they wanted something related to Barcelona. And I had like 4 days to create it. So I was having a lot of doubts if, you know, accepting a commissioned painting on like a canvas, only 4 days to make it. But I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to treat this professionally. I have the experience. So I sent a brief, almost collaged, made in Procreate. They selected one. I made them sign that they would not change their mind once the painting was selected. And I did it across 4 days or maybe less. I was actually quite hungover because I had gone to a festival. So very hot, very hungover, but it was a lot of fun as well. I mixed graffiti and acrylic painting. So that happened before the summer, and I decided to grab the money of the painting to fund my fun in the summer. So I was like, I struggle sometimes allowing myself to go to a lot of festivals and stuff. You know, I'm an independent artist and designer, and I make my own income. No one hires me. I create classes, I create content. And even if I have managed to gain stability economically, I can never push it too far because who knows what's gonna come next. You never overspend as if you would do if you gain like an income every month. So I decided, I was like, great, this I was not expecting to be commissioned to paint this painting, and I'm going to allow myself to have a great summer. Then August came and it was so hot. I was boiling. We live on an attico in Barcelona and it was so hot. You can't even imagine. To be recording a class in the middle of August in Barcelona is not the best idea, but I need to finish it. Sound testing, I'm boiling in this room, sweating, but I gotta do it. ¡Qué calor! Perdón, pero es que este calor está muy perro. So I was at home on my own, and I was like, I'm going to lock myself in this flat, silence all my WhatsApp groups. I have loads of friends in Barcelona. I'm a very sociable person, and Barcelona is like a complete party all the time. There's so many distractions. So I was like, I'm just gonna lock myself in this flat and finish this Skillshare class, which I did. And it's been actually a very successful Skillshare class, which has brought me a lot of motivation. Very well received. People started publishing like beautiful projects, lots of good reviews. It increased my income, which also helps, of course. That was a class where I taught how to mix Procreate with Canva to create designs. I teach how to paint in Procreate a set of botanical flowers and foliage, all using basic Procreate tools, very easy, very enjoyable. here promoting my class. And then I teach how to import those assets into Canva and decorate designs with them. So I'm an artist, but I'm also a designer, and I really enjoy decorating design pieces with my illustrations. It's like commercializing and giving them something to do. This one, for example, I did it for Christmas. This is something that I teach how to do in the class. After finishing my class, I went to London for a friend's wedding, and I also went to meet my boyfriend, who had been in UK for about a month. Hi everyone! I just decided to hop off the bus because I was like, it was taking so long, I forgot how far the airports are from the city in London. Since I had finished my Skillshare class, I was very keen on painting in Procreate and started using some acrylic brushes which I created myself. I absolutely love them, and I started trying out a new aesthetic that I used to enjoy a lot when painting with oils and acrylics in London. It was the first time that I actually managed to paint in this type of style on the iPad, and I was so happy about it. As soon as I went out of the bus, which was taking me from the airport to the west part of the city, I sat down on a park. There was a group of girls sitting by some tennis courts, and I just sat down there to charge my phone and enjoy painting, and this came out. I was so happy about it. As you can see, I'm quite curious when it comes to playing with different styles and techniques. I used to worry about this for years, I'm not gonna lie, but I've learned to accept it. I am a multidisciplinary artist, designer, musician, photographer, and every part of my creative self is as important as the others, and that's who I am. There are artists who shine for a specific style, but that's not my case, and that's okay. Sometimes I struggle defining myself on social media, but I'm also trying not to let the system define who I am and how I want to live my life. So there you go, I did 3 paintings in this style whilst being in London before things would get busy again with work, and I am very proud of it. I haven't told you something. Music is a big part of my life, and I have a musical group with my sister and a friend called Las Candelarias. In October, we did a concert. It was sold out, 30 people came, and the day was absolutely gorgeous. So that was a highlight of my year. In November, I went back to London to give the digital textile design workshop in the V&A Museum, which was once more a terrific workshop. Everyone loved it. People were so nice, and since it was the second time that I had hosted, I was so much more relaxed. The weather was quite grim in the end. First days were sunny, but it was really rainy towards the end of my trip, so I was very happy to come back to Barcelona. And then towards the end of the year, I was like, right, I need to create a new Skillshare class. So I decided another crazy idea, which was record a class in December, in the middle of the holidays and the family reunions. I achieved it. I'm going to publish it this week, and that class is about drawing birds in Procreate, but students can also use a regular pencil and paper too. I achieved loads in that class. My goal was to keep it short. I didn't achieve that. It's like almost a 2-hour class. But what I did achieve was to create it in a shorter period of time. It took me like a bit under a month whilst Christmas. So that's a big achievement for myself. Like I normally take 3 or 4 months to produce a class. And I've realized that if I want to paint more and, maybe travel more, just rest more as well, I need to get better and quicker at creating Skillshare classes. So I think I'm achieving it. This year, I want to open a Patreon page. I want to work on my YouTube videos. I want to paint more. I want to make more music. I want to connect with more people and grow my creative community, give to others everything that I learn, because that's when I create meaning for myself. I hope that you subscribe to my channel. I hope that you follow me on the other social media and explore my classes. And that's all I have to say for today. Loads. Stay creative, and see you in all of the other videos that are much more excited, and that's other part of my personality that I also like to enjoy when creating videos. So have a great start of 2024. Whoever's watching, promise to be here more often, and that's it. Ciao. Adios.